Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of my SimCity 4 Let's Play of Pinecastle. So I'm actually testing out a new recording program here. I'm not using Fraps now, I'm using just the built-in Windows 10 recording of games. I guess it just records up the game that you're playing, and you just press a certain key combination, Windows Alt R. So I'm trying that out, and as far as the last time I checked that out, it would only record up to 1080p, so I wouldn't want to use this in City Skylines, which runs at 4K on my computer. But SimCity 4, due to glitches and the custom resolution settings of the game, will only run up to 1080p, unless if you go higher, you technically can to some extent, but your city tiles will be messed up in the region view thumbnails and all that, so I don't bother. So anyway, I was working earlier on Skywatch here, which I had built up in this whole city tile to the north part, and the southern one here, which should eventually extend up to this industrial area. And some of you might recognize this city tile from my Urban Renewal series, which I made quite a long time ago, maybe 2 years at least ago. Which was kind of a fast motion time lapse, if you will. Not really a time lapse, but it's a fast motion recording of redeveloping a lot of this industry, which I had built up to about here, and unfortunately I had lost a lot of that progress due to the Prop Pox, which I've got the fix for that now, thankfully. So that's no longer a concern for me with this game. So that's kind of what had stopped me from playing SimCity for a long time. I was in a City Skylines, and then I wasn't really working on any of this, you know. But in any case, also in addition to that, my motherboard had died somehow. In addition to my video card was bad, so I replaced the motherboard on my computer, and sadly, right now I have no video cards, so I'm using the integrated graphics, but they work decently well in SimCity 4 at least, so, and other games, surprisingly. So, anyway, without further ado, I guess I'll load up Pinecastle, because that's what I'm starting to focus on right now. I haven't played the city tile since probably the last episode of my Pinecastle series. Not to mention, I had developed some of the coastline way over here, but like I said, the Prop Pox, I had to restore an earlier backup of the region, and then I got the fix eventually, so I don't have the new version anymore, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to redo a lot of the things in the city. But that's, you know, both good and bad. I mean, I can definitely have a little room for improvement, and maybe make some positive changes in the city tile compared to what it had before. Okay, so right now we're starting off in the southwestern portion of the city tile, which is an industrial area, which continues over here to part of Stonegate Moor, which is the next city over. And I haven't really named this little village here. I've named the other ones. I might as well show that to you first while I'm talking about it, but I've actually done quite a bit of work in Stonegate Moor since the last episode. You may have noticed that earlier. So I've kind of went with what I was doing before the old Prop Pox hit. It's basically to develop this is Stonegate Moor over here. This is the eastern portion of the city, which continues on this side. And this is Oostburg. And this is Neustadt. And these are both little German-style settlements, if you will. Well, not German style, but German names. That's all. I don't really know German too well, so I just named them pretty basic things. It's the Eastern City, and this is the new city to the far east of Stonegate Moor. So that's the best I could come up with. I don't know why I went with that, but in any case, these are just small kind of... Okay, they're kind of sizable cities at this point, but My idea was to put smaller villages or small towns. Maybe I'll make another one over here, perhaps. This major intersection, that would kind of make sense. Which instead of surrounding them with urban sprawl, suburbia everywhere, which I could have this whole area filled in by now, I decided to put a little green belt around there and just have forests everywhere, maybe some farms at some point around here. So it's kind of my urban sprawl controlling idea that I have going on around eastern Stillgate, more suburbs or exurbs, I suppose. In any case, here is the continuation of the industrial area that I was showing you a second ago on the other city tile. So let me zoom back out to Pinecastle again. So I've actually had a problem in any city that has an industry, seems like, almost any of them, as of late, which is that they will crash if you zoom into a certain zoom level, like one closer than this, and a certain angle, which is this or this one, I think. So facing north or facing westward with the camera, the game will just crash, and that's I've tried to figure out why that is. I've tried bulldozing whole areas of my industrial areas, and then I know it has something to do with industry being in the city tile. So I guess if anyone's had a similar problem and knows what might be causing that to happen, maybe leave a comment about that, because it's very much bothering me, because I can't really zoom in all the way. I can't zoom into the 4th zoom or the 5th zoom or whatever it is without crashing some of my cities. It's not all of them, just certain ones. Yeah, in any case, I guess I can probably unpause this at this point and see what's going on. It's been forever since I played this city tile. Here's some Japanese talking here. Due to the rail station I have right here, which has a glitch where if you unpause the game, it will play that clip, which is the query clip right here. I think. Yeah, that was a different station, I don't know. Anyway. So, as we can see right now, next to the railway main station and the bus station, is quite a bit of undeveloped land. And I think I should develop that now. I don't know. So let's see if I can... These aren't actually transit-enabled street connections here. So what I'll do is, well... So if I put a street through here, I could not connect diagonally to this because it's just not supported yet, unfortunately, in the network add-on mod. And what else? Where else could I... So I think what I should do is probably put a street right through here. First, what I'd like to do is basically, well, there's turning lanes now for this kind of intersection, a three-way intersection, or T intersection, between two AV6 six-lane avenues. So I'm going to place that right here. Triple tile, X intersection. There's a T intersection, that's what I want. So I'm going to place this. It gets rid of the crosshatch markings with the white paint. Unfortunately, that's an add-on I have, or not an add-on, but an option in the network add-on mod for New York City style intersection markings. So it says don't block the intersection, basically, with the intersection marking. So that's gone, but still I have the intersection working at least, so I'm going to put, maybe I missed it there. Yeah, this is one, Avenue 6. In general, I go to 3 or 4 tiles of turning lanes long, Sometimes in kind of dense urban areas, more compact, I'll go for 2 lately. It's always been 3 as my standard though, but lately I've kind of changed that up a bit, I guess. So this is going to be a bit difficult because I don't really like to put a street intersection right up against the start of the turning lane, if you know what I mean, like right up next to this, so maybe I'll put a space between. I like to leave at least 2 tiles of median between the next street to the next intersection, I mean. So at the very least, I know I'm going to have this right here. And one thing I could do, I know I'm at least going to curve at 90 degrees like so. And I could probably, it won't let me in this case, but make it a half intersection where it doesn't cross the median. Because really, if someone's right here, you know, and they want to get out left here, I guess they could just turn on this road and then turn left. So I don't suppose it's any problem to do that. So I think I might actually do that without disturbing the nice pretty median I have here. Do that 2 tiles down from here, and then I'm going to place some residential zones against this so that, because it's not really a main street, you know, main road that would have a lot of commercial traffic. And I'm going to complain a bit more about this game. They don't have any mixed-use zoning available, so you can't really have commercial with residential above it, which kind of sucks. And compared to real life, I mean, pretty unrealistic design limitation of the game. So in real life, like this one, it might have been commercial and residential, maybe at the corner here, but sadly you can't do that in this game. So, and you can't do that in City Skylines either, oddly enough. So Cities in Motion, their previous game from Colossal Order and Paradox Interactive, which made City Skylines, did have mixed-use zoning. It was actually the norm in that game. I mean, everything was mixed-use. And for some reason, they just decided to simplify it and get rid of that in City Skylines, which is a real shame. I mean, why do that, you know? Well, it's just to simplify things, but at what cost? You know, that's not realistic. That's not modern. It's just so outdated and everything, so it kind of annoys me that they did that, even though they had a new city building game that otherwise they were making pretty good. But anyway, so I'm mainly focusing on SimCity 4 these last several months, so I really, because I just like to, you know, focus on one game or the other at a certain time period. If I was playing SimCity 4 and City Skylines at the same time, I wouldn't really be making so much progress with either one of them. Move that commercial. So I haven't really played City Skylines since actually like I mentioned, my motherboard went bad, so I couldn't play on my desktop, which one's Windows 10. I was only playing on my laptop, which one's Linux, and there were some glitches with Linux and City Skylines, even though they do have a version available, but I guess some people, including me, will get a glitch where you can't even run the game. It crashes when you try to load your city, and no one's figured out, apparently, why that happens. So what I'm going to do here is place a little bit of a sidewalk or paved area. Let's see, where is that? Way down here, I think. This diagonal right here. If you're wondering where to find these, I'll make it easy on you. You won't have to look in my mod list or anything, which, by the way, is in my channel's about page. These are, I think, by Somy. I mean, S-O-M-Y. So that's the Japanese modder who has his own mod site. I think it's like somi.co.jp or something. I'm not entirely sure about that, but at least you have the name, so I'm pretty sure that's who made these. I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm not totally sure about that, but at least look it up. Maybe that will help you. These are basically sidewalk tiles, which are, you can extend the sidewalk on your commercial or your streets, and the commercial zones will work off those. So I don't know if I should zone these areas actually, because this is a one-way road leading into the bus station, so you couldn't really have normal road access there. So how is that going to work? But at the same time, I'll do it anyway. Because this whole area is kind of a big area to fill in, and it's like, you know, I don't want to have that just be trees or something. What are we getting here? Lucky Lizard Lofts, that's what I thought it was. One of the nice, tall commercial buildings. It's not a skyscraper, maybe a tower. Comes with a game. Well, a lot of people like to block all the buildings that come with the game and then just use their own custom ones, which I don't really agree with, because they had a really good architecture of their buildings in the default game. They actually look fine, I think. The only problem is, well, the modelers at Maxis were good replicating architecture. They weren't too great at lotting their buildings, so you kind of had weird things like parking lots you couldn't actually maneuver a car through, let alone park one. And you have things like, you know, parking garage entrances which don't line up with the street, or they don't access the front of the lot at all, which is stupid. I mean, I've thought before, you know, it would be nice to have someone make just a Maxis building relotting mod, which made all that realistic. Kept the buildings, but made the lots actually make sense, like they don't right now. So I've kind of played around with doing something like that, but never really never really worked on too much of it though. I was gonna film this area with a little park, and then another one I'm thinking of. Where is that? I'm trying to. It's actually intended as an avenue median, a wide median. Here's the 2x4 version of it, and here's the 3x4 version that I'm looking for. So there's a little nice little park right there behind the school. So now that's all filled in. And we've already got some buildings being built here, so it's commercial development. I guess I may as well zone this too, because I've done that with the other parts of this road. So basically, as far as this road going up to these commercial zones, it only makes sense for there to be like a parking structure nearby, and pedestrians can just walk to these buildings, because this is a one-way road which leads into the bus station. I guess this could be a through street, but not really sure. I guess that would actually work that would actually make sense there, so maybe it would be okay to just have it as it is. So as far as this empty space by the road here, it's going to fill it in with some trees. As much as it will let me. There we go. Still looks a little weird, the sidewalk suddenly ending like that, but oh well. That's SimCity for you. I mean, put a few more here actually too, so this looks a little less bare. few more trees right here as far as I can place any more. Looks good to me. So let's see. It looks to me like the last time I played the city tile, there was only the puzzle piece based turning lanes available from the Tulip project. The turning lane extension project, if you will. So we've got the white sidewalks, the game default ones, instead of the new ones that I have, which are based on Boston or somewhere, I think, apparently. I don't know, I've never been there, but that's what they say. So they have a little pinkish sidewalk there. So here I've put a nice little, going down from the hospital, this kind of parkway, I don't know. Maybe it's a parkway, I guess, along the roadside. And I guess I'll just continue developing these streets here. If I put residential there. Let me see how many tiles do I have? 6. So what I've recently found out, I guess since playing the city tile actually, sadly I can't do it here, but in this case you can actually drag these and make a signalized intersection with the SIPs, the signalized intersection pieces, I guess they're called, through the NAM. Network add-on mod, and just drag a little road between the tile adjoining the intersection and throughout the intersection, and it will put a traffic signal there, even with one-way roads and 6-lane avenues. So I didn't know you could do that before, and I guess that's an advancement that's been made, or that I figured out. The reason I can't do it here is because there's elevated rail going over there. You can't actually, it won't let you drag that road out. So let's see. So from here I'm going to drag out the one-way road. These are the 3-lane one-way roads at this point, I guess, so I started going to wider ones. It's kind of a weird, like a gridiron pattern through here. The 3-lane roads, one-way roads, will extend past this railway here. It's going in a tunnel underneath them and all that. So normally I try to just make my, oops, oh no, should have made that go the other way. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up. Nah, it doesn't look like it. That's a relief. So I try to, vary my street patterns a little bit more lately. I mean, compared to just one-way road, another one-way road, going the opposite direction. And more of a gridiron pattern. I try to vary the curves and everything a little bit more. This is strange. What just happened? Because I see this one is going this direction. So I should have, something's kind of reversed it somewhere along the line. Yeah, right here, I think. This was actually going the wrong way in the first place. I just fixed that. Strange. And it reverted back to an OWR2. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to put a new starter piece there. Turn this back into 3 lanes. click a few times to get this to override here. Okay. So this goes... Okay, I'm really confused now. So we've got too many going this way. Seems like my roads have been changing direction this entire time. In the middle of, probably around here. I mean, just hide the buildings for a second. So yeah, I mean, right here is where they've been changing direction unintentionally. You can see that this road goes westbound. This one also goes westbound, except here it goes eastbound, so that wasn't supposed to happen. So we've got westbound, eastbound, westbound. So this should be going this direction. So I'm going to drag it out this way then. And this one should be going the opposite way, which I didn't realize until a second ago. It's going this way the entire length of it. So as you can see, this OWR4 in the middle here allows it to kind of change direction in the middle of an intersection, which shouldn't really be happening in this case. So that's why that whole problem was going on. So I'm actually going to drag this the opposite direction from what I just did. I have to play another starter piece here. 3-lane, what does it say? OWR1 in the parentheses. It's probably a glitch, I guess. Should be saying OWR-3. Anyway. Just click a few times to get that all worked out. Just drag this the opposite direction now. And it's still going this way. Let's change that. Okay, that's good. And this one goes westbound, so let's see if it's going the same way the entire length of it. Yes, it seems to be. Yep, okay. So demolish this starter piece and then rebuild that. Okay, we can go over to normal view. So for a while the traffic flow will be interrupted because I just redid everything and the cars won't figure it out for a while. But in any case, I'll save the game real quick. So this is going the right way. They're all going the right direction now. I'm going to drag this out from about here. Finish these roads here, yep. And drag out the main avenue, okay. Let's drag that railway out a bit to make it even for now. So the eventual route of this will be probably, I guess, just crossing over the freeway, probably following near the coastline. I don't know what after that, but so right here I've kind of made an interesting little construction here. I've made a collector distributor and an express lane system, 2 freeways, except they're stacked one on top of the other. The express lanes are underground, and the ground level collector distributor lanes, which will have eventually on-ramps and off-ramps, are on the ground level, which is similar to something in real life. I can't remember where exactly. Maybe it was Texas. I forget. Honestly, it was. I do know of some freeway. I can't remember which one exactly, but it had something similar where they're underground and above ground, like that. So maybe someone knows in the comments section. You'll let me know about what freeway that might be. There's probably more than one in the whole you know. So anyway, at least I'll drag this out to here. So it's intersecting with this main avenue, and I'm thinking this avenue is going to eventually have an interchange with this freeway. So I'm going to drag it out to about maybe here. And eventually I'll build an overpass and have that interchange with these lanes here. I just realized that my game was in day and night cycle mode the whole time, so hopefully you can see, you could see that everything I was doing well enough, but now it's turning to daytime either way. I've had people complain in the past about not being able to see anything I'm doing when it's nighttime in the game. So I try to put it on day mode. But in any case, let's see. Any new development around that first area I've zoned? Not exactly. To make sure everything's good, like water connections and everything. Yeah, it looks like it, so it'll probably be a matter of time once the residential demand gets above rock bottom, and in low wealth it's at 0. These other two are way at the lowest it possibly can be, negative 6,000. So I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. And other than that, well, it's been about a half hour at this point as far as the video's been going, so I guess I'll stop it around here and hopefully make a new one before too long, which hopefully you've enjoyed watching this, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.